Good afternoon, Packers fans. Aaron Negler here with your Packers Daily Chat, coming to you live on the Cheesehead TV social channels. It is Thursday, the Packers Wednesday, as they prepare to go to Las Vegas and take on the Raiders on Monday Night Football. Injuries trending in a good direction for the Packers. I had an injury report / update up here early on the channel earlier this afternoon. If you haven't checked that out, highly encourage you to do so. Needless to say, like I said, trending in the right way as the Packers get to take on a Raiders team where there are a lot of connections here. I mean, clearly, everyone's talked a lot about the brothers being kickers being brothers. Carlson, not twins, but brothers, will be kicking for their respective teams. Not going to say an insanely rare occurrence, but it's pretty rare to have two brothers going against each other across the sidelines. So the Carlson bros be kicking for bragging rights, so to speak. It's interesting, but it doesn't really affect the game in and of itself that much. Rich Bisaccia, that's a juicy storyline, going back to the town where they said thanks but no thanks, given everything he had done for them after the Gruden fiasco. I am still, to this day, a little surprised they didn't give him the head coaching gig, but their loss is mostly the Packers' gain. And then there's obviously the Davante Adams angle. And I know he missed practice today with a shoulder injury that he's dealing with. Really hope he's able to go on Monday night. And there are various others. But you know what's one kind of connection here that I haven't really heard talked about a whole lot or brought up at all? It's the Raiders wide receiver coach, Edgar Bennett. Yes, Super Bowl champion, owner of 2 Super Bowl rings, one as a player and one as a coach in Green Bay. Edgar Bennett, the greatest mutter the NFL has ever seen. Love, love, love Edgar Bennett, and I love all that he's done for the green and gold. But on Monday night, he's on the opposite sideline. He's the enemy, and he's got to go down. But, man, I love Edgar Bennett. I love that he's still coaching. I love that he's in Vegas with the Raiders. Wish nothing but the best for him except on Monday night. But shout out to Edgar Bennett. Talk about a man who truly carries the G. He absolutely did while he was in Green Bay, both as a player and as a coach. Like I said, just haven't heard it talked about a whole lot, but he will be there on the sideline scheming things up against that Joe Barry secondary. God help us all. Before I get going, I want to give a shout-out to our good friends over at Firecracker Farm. That's right. Spice up your game with Firecracker Farm's amazing hot salt. Everything is better with hot salt. Who makes it? It's a family brand made by hand in small batches, not in a factory. The guy that makes it is cool and a friend of Cheesehead TV. He, his wife, and kids grow the peppers on their farm and make the hot salt right there. It's great for grilling, dips, and cocktails, you name it. Everything's better with hot salt. Right now, Firecracker Farm is offering a 20% discount for Cheesehead TV viewers and listeners for a limited time on your first order. So go ahead, go to firecracker.farm now, place your order, and get ready to spice up your game. Don't forget, use CHTV at checkout for 20% off. That's firecracker.farm, promo code CHTV for 20% off. Do it, folks. You know you'll want to. Hello to everybody in the comment section. So good to see everybody. Brandy's here. Of course, Brandy's here. Dennis is here. What's up, Dennis? How are you, man? Ed, thanks for the super chat. When huddling up before taking the field, shouting, finesse does not have the same impact as dominate. Just saying. I see an extension from our conversation on Carry the G Radio has made the internet. Look, I've said it many times. I would never, ever, ever call any NFL player soft. I'll never call an NFL coach soft. They go through too much. They sacrifice too much. They put too much on the line to call them soft. But the play style of a certain defense comparative to other defenses, it's different. It's noticeable. And I don't think that is above calling out. But I hear what you're saying, Ed. Vex, thanks for the super chat, man. Could we see AJ before the third quarter? This offense is an embarrassment right now. Not blaming J-Love. Need more out of Matt LaFleur's direct unit. I mean, that's the thing, right? The fact that they've come out of the gate trying to sling it downfield these last 2 weeks and not done a very good job of it, not been very productive, it's frustrating. But, I suspect we'll see a bit more of an emphasis on mixing things up, so to speak. An embarrassment, man, I don't know. It's an embarrassment if you're the Bears. If you're the Steelers, have you watched the Steelers this year? That's an offensive embarrassment. Yes, the Packers are inconsistent at times, and you can question their approach for certain games, but I wouldn't call them an embarrassment. There's way too much on offer in the NFL landscape to go that route. Joe, thanks for the super chat, man. Aaron Jones has played about 20% of snaps, Christian Watson about 10%. We haven't seen the full Packers offense yet. Any word on who got 1 reps at right guard? Now, during the season, you don't get to see anything as far as how they're lining up. There's no team drill work being done in front of the media. It's all just warm-up, stretching, and things like that. And then once they do get to those types of moments, any kind of teamwork, that's when the media is ushered out. So no clue. Absolutely zero. But we'll see. I mean, I know Elton Jenkins has practiced the last 2 practices, which bodes well for his reinsertion at left guard. Right guard? I don't know, man. I know Runyon did not practice today. He's dealing with that ankle injury he suffered last Thursday night. Will they bounce Newman from left guard to right guard? Zach Tom's probably sitting over there going, no thanks, I choose life. I don't know, man. We'll see here in a couple days. Lance, thanks for the super chat. Thoughts? Lance, I have so many thoughts. Number 1 thought is that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, do not adjust your sets. I guess that's an outdated reference. Do not fiddle with your internet. I am here to say, finally, after our long national nightmare, Hudson, Wisconsin has Carry the G in stock. Let's go. Let's go, people.
You may not play for your favorite team, but you act like it. Through every snap and every score. Whether you're at work or in the grocery store, you're carrying them with you. No, not with a jersey, but with a mindset, so that you're always ready. Ready so that not just on game day, but on any day, you can crack open that ice-cold beer. A beer made by fans, for fans. Cheesehead TV and Gathering Place Brewing bring you Carry the G. A delicious and easy drinking cream ale, not just for tailgating, but for everyday life. Now available throughout Wisconsin, so that wherever you go, you can carry the G.
Finally, that last line, or the second to last line, is true. Available throughout Wisconsin, not only in Hudson, people. Spooner has Carry the G. Let's go. Let's go. Finally, I am beyond apologetic that it's taken so long for Carry the G to reach the western reaches of the state, but it is there as of today on the shelves in Spooner, in Hudson. Go out, get yourself some ice cold Carry the G, people. You deserve it for all your patience. Sorry. That was probably a little dramatic, but I was very excited. Dustin, thanks for the super chat, man. Last night was bittersweet. Live in Arizona from Wisco. Ooh, yeah, yikes. Last night, man. I mean, I'm not going to say anything that anybody hasn't said regarding the Milwaukee Brewers, other than that I love that every time the Brewers bow out of the playoffs, I always try to tweet something somewhat encouraging of the team and the players and the staff, because I know people both who play for and work for the Brewers, and I understand the amount of work and sacrifice and grit and everything that it takes to do what they do on a day-to-day basis for months and months on end to entertain us, the great unwashed masses. So I put something up like, hell of a season, Brewers. And instantly, all these entitled yahoos from Wisconsin are like, it's an embarrassment. Oh, it's a terrible season. They won 92 games, people. Yes, they bowed out early in the playoffs. Yes, it sucks. But that doesn't mean you can't have appreciation for what the team did all season long. And I know it's Dustin, I know this is not directed at you, but like every year this happens. Every year. It's a small market, people. It's the smallest market. And they're competing against the big boys. They're winning 92 fucking games. Y'all won't ever be happy. This is why I'm so excited that Dame's in Milwaukee, because Dame has that great interview from a few years ago where he's like dissing ring culture and talking about how the journey is the important part. And he's 1,000% right. And seemingly no one in Wisconsin understands this. Just blows my mind. I mean, it doesn't blow my mind. I'm kind of expected at this point, but I hate it. Danny, can't thank you enough for being a Carry the G Club member. Thanks, buddy. A lot going on here, chat. Okay, here we go. Matt LaFleur needs to toughen up. Less talk and more do. Thanks for messaging me back about happy hour. You're a class act, sir. Oh, thank you, Danny. Thanks for reaching out. Cannot express how sorry I am that the information for last night's happy hour was not available to carry the G Club members yesterday on the YouTube community page. I literally posted it, i.e., put in the information, and I apparently forgot to hit publish because I'm an idiot. So I cannot thank you guys enough, A, for your support and apologize enough for those that wanted to join and couldn't. I saw a few messages after we were done, which obviously doesn't help anybody. So I'm really sorry about that. But Danny, thank you for saying something, dude. I really appreciate your support. Matt LaFleur needs to toughen up, less talk and more do. I mean, I don't know, man. It's a fine line, right? It does seemingly start to sound familiar, like a refrain of a famous song or a hook from a track that you know really well over and over and over again. Whether it's, got to clean that up, or whether it's, I got to get Aaron Jones the ball more, or what have you. A few of those are starting to creep in. And I'm with you, man, because how many times have we talked about certain aspects of this team, and Matt is up there. Corey was saying on Transplants, that's the maddest he's ever seen Matt after a game, after the Detroit game. And, yeah, I would agree. That's probably the snippiest he's been. Talking about how they got their ass handed to them, etc. And then the next day, after he's done film study, he comes in as obviously much more measured, much more, I'm not going to say reserved. I think he's pretty outspoken and he says what is on his mind, etc. But we do hear, oh, well, we've got to fix these things, and we have an approach, and we've studied it, etc. And okay, but we see the same things happening again and again and again. So at what point is something going to change? You're the head coach. It's on you. And I don't want to minimize the amount of work that anybody on that coaching staff does, because obviously they are grinding, they're working their ass off, trying to get things better, trying to make things happen, trying to kind of improve the team, right? But man, when you see the same mistakes over and over and over again, and guys being put in the same position over and over and over again, expecting different results, I don't know, man. That gets a little hard to swallow. Tommy, thanks for Super Chat. Shame on Major League Baseball for having all wildcard sweeps, making us watch Bears Commanders tonight. I don't know about you, man, but I love watching the Bears get their ass kicked. Come on now. Washington's no great shakes, but they're actually a competitive team, and I suspect they'll maybe not make short work of the Bears tonight, but I think they'll put the hurt on the Bears. That's what I suspect anyway. I mean, they are playing that garbage dump that Washington calls a stadium. Probably the one stadium in the league that's worse than Soldier Field at this point, but should be a good game. I kid. Caleb, thanks for the Super Chat. Rashawn off the injury report, so we are full go for Monday Night Football. Baby, now we're cooking with gas. You know what that means? Caleb, that's got to mean we're one step closer to getting the man paid. Can we pay Rashawn? That man needs to be paid. P-A-I-D, paid. The cost is only going up. Every time he's offered the third and long opportunity to absolutely demolish and or destroy a left or right tackle in this world, the price is only going up. Can we get this man paid? Please? Please. Begging you. I mean, I know that's easy for me to say, ain't my money. But hey, pay the man. Ryan, thanks for the Super Chat. Do you think Bennett will get a head coaching job in the future, waiting for Carry the G in the Janesville area? It should be in Janesville, if not now, very soon. I mean, we've I was going to say pepper sprayed, but that's not right. Peppered? Carpet bombed? I don't know. We've hit that area pretty hard, so I would suspect it's got to be there soon. Do I think Bennett will get a head coaching job in the future? I doubt it. He's been an assistant for quite some time. He was an offensive coordinator in Green Bay. Never really got a sniff, never got interviews as far as I remember. If it was going to happen, career trajectory-wise, that's probably when it would have. And it's not like, I mean, he was the offensive coordinator in 15, 16. They were putting up numbers, The fact that it never happened after that, I mean, maybe it's the perception of McCarthy hurt him. the fact that, it's all Aaron Rodgers probably hurt him. So, yeah, but if it was going to happen, I would suspect that's when it would have. But now, I mean, what? He's been in the NFL, like, player and coach, like 25, 26 years, something like that. I mean, at that point, it's hard, man. No, never say never. Hell, Fangio got a head coaching job in his, late 50s, early 60s, however old he was when he got that gig in Denver. So, again, never say never, but Fangio had to dominate at the coordinator level for years to even sniff that opportunity, right? I mean, Edgar's been coaching wide receivers, with the Raiders for like 6 years now, 7 years, and hasn't moved up. I don't know. I doubt it. I doubt it at this point, which is unfortunate because, like I said, trajectory-wise in Green Bay, you would have thought he'd at least get some interviews, but it just never really happened, which is too bad. Dustin, thanks again, man. Nags has to be a first, but I just tagged you on Instagram in my post with the Carry the G here in Phoenix with the baby zebra we rescued from poachers. Not only is that a first for, Carry the G or Cheesehead TV, I got to suspect that's probably a first for humanity. So well done, man. That's an amazing sentence to type into the internet. And thank you for your support. Ralph, thanks for the super chat, man. What D coordinator will be good for this roster? Oh, man. I have no idea. I would love to give you a list of names, but, dude, I just want to watch the Packers beat the Raiders. I'm not studying D coordinators until the offseason. Maybe towards the end of the year if the Packers are out of the playoffs and we're looking towards the future, then I'll take a look, right? But, Ralph, I don't spend my time looking at possible solutions that are never going to present themselves as opportunities. Matt's not firing Barry, dude. So, right now all I care about is beating the Raiders. And look, could there be a potential change at defensive coordinator this offseason? Oh, yes, absolutely. That is definitely on the table. But, man, we got months until we get there. So I'm sure other folks on the internet who cover the Packers, both as on the beat and as YouTubers or podcasters or what have you, probably have tons of opinions on this question. So I'm sorry I can't give you more, but, man, like I said, I just want to beat the Raiders. Quinn, thanks for the super chat, man. It's great to see Love continue to go to his wide receivers, maybe out of necessity, despite the drops they have. Also, heading to Vegas in about 3 hours. Quinn, have a great time. Drink lots of fluids. Get some rest before you go. Maybe take a nap. And, yeah, Love has definitely shown that he will keep slinging it. And, look, I don't know, Quinn, I know your history of commenting about Rodgers, but I know some people have made that comment with the eye towards Aaron Rodgers and saying, Aaron would then stop going to guys. And I don't think that was always true. I think he's been kind of unfairly labeled in that regard. But Jordan Love, just in and of himself, being able to kind of shake that off and continue to go to guys is great to see. And I do think, to your point, I think some of it sometimes is out of necessity. It's like, can't start freezing young guys out when you're just starting on the road, It's like you all have to grow together. It's not like he hasn't missed some throws. He understands. He knows. He's going to need these guys. Caleb, thanks again, man. Start Yosh Nijman, dang it. Hey, I made this case the other day. I want Yosh at right tackle. I want Zach Tom moved in to center, and away you go. And I think that will improve your line. But we'll see. I know Steno said everything's on the table. That's definitely part of the stuff that's on the table. Will the Packers go that route? I'm not. To quote Mulder in the X-Files, I'm not convinced. What else we got here, folks? We got so many people. What's up? What's up, folks? We got so many chats. Jason says everyone needs to stop blaming the coaches for everything. The players are the ones that have to play the game and stick to the game plan, but they always want to fire the coaches for everything that goes wrong. Jason, I tend to agree with your sentiment there. However, the one caveat I will say here, and this is not new. If you're new to the channel, welcome, or new to the Facebook page, thank you for joining us. But I have been talking about it all summer long when it comes to the defense and the fact that I need to see it. It's not like there's zero reason to be up in arms about Joe Barry and the same vulnerabilities popping up again and again and again. Yes, players have to make plays. But when you continually present opposing offenses with easy solutions to what you're trying to do on defense, they're going to take those easy solutions, and there's precious little the players can do about it. You know? So I hear you. You're correct. And I know every football coach in America is probably shouting their agreement with you. And it's true. Yes, players have to make plays. Players have to execute. No question about it. But you also have to put players in a position to succeed. It's a two-way street. Rich Bisaccia for defensive coordinator. Can we get the special teams fixed first? Those are my thoughts on that. Danny, thanks again, man. 5 weeks in, love is the least of our worries. Ironic. It is kind of funny, isn't it, that all of the conversation coming out of the Detroit game has been about pretty much everything other than the quarterback. Now, and look, and I like it. I like it, man. I like where he's at. Long way to go, lots to work on, but he looks like a player. He looks like a good player, and it looks like a guy they can build around, which was the whole question heading into this season. Now, again, doesn't mean he's arrived, doesn't mean he doesn't have lots and lots of work to do and growth ahead of him, and there's no way you can sit here and say, well, there's no way he regresses, because God knows we've seen that happen. Carson Wentz, anybody? I don't know if people remember, but Carson Wentz looked like a fucking MVP early on in his career before his injury, and then his career totally fell apart. And I'm not equating it perfectly. Of course, there's no perfect equation. I'm just saying what is happening now does not necessarily mean that's what's going to be happening later. You got to keep working. You got to keep growing. And I have every confidence that Jordan will. I mean, he didn't sit on the bench for 3 years just to get here and throw some passes and go, yeah, I got it. I know what this game's all about. He's going to continue to improve. He's going to continue to work. And I'm really excited to watch him grow. Colin says, starting to get a little jealous of Houston and Arizona that seem to get the best out of the talent they have. Been very competitive. They have been. Very true. I will never be jealous of those franchises, though. Goodness gracious. Again, we're a month into the season. A lot of ball game left. Teams that look a certain way right now could and probably will look very different come November and December. It's a long season. It's a marathon. It ain't a sprint. All right, everybody, I got to get going. I can't thank you enough for hanging out, talking Packers each and every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Cheesehead TV social channels. Please do me a monster favor. Hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and then tell your friends and tell your family. Cheesehead TV, we are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great night. Go Pack, go.